Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at update 14.7 because this is the best update Wargaming has ever released for this game. What if I told you you could get yourself a Missouri completely for free just by playing the game over the next few updates? Yeah, if that's not good enough, you could also get Laffey for free, you could get GQ Johnny for free, and you could get a San Diego for free. We're getting into the 10th anniversary of World of Warships. That is next update, though. There's even more goodies planned that update, but we're already starting off with an incredible event this update. In the Name of Tomorrow here brings a couple new operations that will be rotating over the next few weeks, and as a part of this event, you can earn tokens by playing through the event that are exchanged 1-to-1 with doubloons or steel. You can earn up to 32,000 of these tokens. So that's 32,000 doubloons completely for free. Kind of insane, which means you can get yourself the Laffey Dockyard. But what about Missouri? That doesn't really make sense. Well, if we go into the Name of Tomorrow event tab here, there's plenty of very expensive ships you could also get with those doubloons. But all the way at the bottom here, there's just a regular purchase price Missouri. It says locked here because you'll need to complete the In the Name of Tomorrow narrative campaign. By completing that narrative campaign, guess what your reward is? It's San Diego completely for free. So you'll get yourself a San Diego. By also playing through this game, you're going to be getting those tokens, convert to doubloons, and you can get these two. I bring up GQ Johnny as well because we're starting into the mission chains that'll allow you to get this ship towards the end of the year in December. This one's going to take a lot of playtime to get, but it's completely free as well. If you have the time to dedicate to it, you can get GQ Johnny as well completely for free just by playing the game. This is an absolutely incredible update, such a massive change of pace, and I am so excited to walk through it with you today. I want to go through it all just so you're aware of what's happening in World of Warships. Maybe you haven't played for a bit, maybe the monetization, the gameplay has been getting to you over the last little while. The first half of 2025 was really not great. There was a ton of monetization on all the new content. I think that was the big problem. It's not that we were lacking content coming to the game, it's just that it was so expensive that it's hard to get excited about it. Now, though, there is so much new content and returning extremely difficult to get content like Missouri that you can get for free or by playing a little bit, spending a little bit of money. And I think this is the balance Wargaming needs going forward. Sure, there can be very expensive content, but alongside it, we need content that's accessible to the average player. With that, I think a lot of frustration would be eliminated or at least dampened, as there would be excitement for all players when a new update drops. As you can see, in this very update, we have added loot boxes for gambling. We have a tier 9 for an inflated Admiral Pack cost. We have tier 7s also for inflated Admiral Pack costs. And yet, I don't find it that frustrating. If you want these ships, I'll be making videos, already made some videos on them. There are some interesting gameplay mechanics here. But as a free-to-play player, they're out of reach. As a reasonable, quote-unquote, cost, let's say $10 to $30 a month player, these are likely out of reach as well. Fortunately, there's plenty of content here as well that you can just get by playing the game or spending a little bit of money. Let's go over to this Grand Voyage section because this is where you can get these tokens, and you'll see that you'll get 350 tokens daily for up to 24 days. That's right. It's not about playing every day for the next 3, 4, 5 months. It's about getting you a lot of these tokens up front early. And to explain that a little better, here in the missions tab, you should find you have the Grand Voyage missions. And this is the idea behind this welcome bonus, 10,000 of these tokens, which again, convert 1-to-1 to doubloons or steel if you want. You'll have 24 of these daily welcome bonus missions. So for 24 days, from now until mid-December, you'll be getting 350 of these tokens. And alongside that, once you complete that, you'll get 1,600 towards the end. That's not all, though. If you do want to get the full 32,000 of these tokens and potentially convert that directly to doubloons or steel, then there's another mission for 150 tokens, and that one is play a battle every day for the next 146 days. But notice how it's much less than this welcome bonus. This is such a player-friendly concept where you're not locking the vast majority of these rewards behind a ton of time investment or perhaps just spending some more money on the game. No, instead, player-friendly, we're putting the bulk or a large bulk of these tokens up front, relatively easily obtainable. I think this is absolutely awesome, and that's not the end of the good news with this update. We actually have 3 brand new operations, and this is where you're going to go get yourself this San Diego completely for free just by completing enough of these operations. You'll earn stars by playing through them, and through that, you will actually get towards the San Diego. I'm not sure at this moment how long that's going to take or how difficult that's going to be, but for now, we have the Arctic Convoy to start. These will be rotating through the weeks, so week 1 is going to be Arctic Convoy, it'll change next week, and then there'll be a third one the week after. Following those 3 weeks, we will get another 3 weeks of rotations with these new operations, alongside expanding what is available. So we'll get more tiers available to play here too, so it should remain relatively fresh. You'll notice they've also added a lot in terms of this story. They've added whole cutscenes, entire cutscenes for you to watch through, fully animated. They've spent a lot of effort on this, and this is a completely free campaign for you to just interact with. It feels like Wargaming is paying a whole lot more attention to, look at this. Oh, I mean, maybe this isn't too hard to animate. I don't know. I'm not an animator. It sure looks cool, though. It adds to the atmosphere, and this is, again, completely free. There's not any extra monetization behind this event. There sure are some very expensive new ships available in the armory, but you'll get yourself a San Diego here. And by the way, if you already have San Diego, you may be wondering, what's the reward here for already having San Diego? You get compensated with 11,000 doubloons if you already have San Diego. Well worth going for if you have it or if you don't. San Diego's incredibly fun, and 11,000 doubloons is quite a lot. I'm obviously pretty excited about this update. I've been waiting a long time. I gotta be honest with you guys, it's hard to make content on the game and be excited and interested in the game when I know the content that I'm showing to you guys is purely out of reach based on its monetization for the vast majority of the people watching my videos. It's hard for me to enjoy making that content when I know that in the back of my head, most people aren't gonna be that interested because it's just so far out of reach. Here, though, it's very easy for me to get excited about this game. Perhaps too excited? I'm not sure yet. I've been waiting a very long time for this game to finally turn that corner. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, I haven't played these operations yet. Definitely let me know if you want to see some videos on those. I'll probably be playing some community operations on stream, playing with viewers, that kind of thing. We could make some video content on that, but they are wholly new. Interesting operations. They've been doing a good job with recent changes to PvE content over the year, and it'll be interesting to see what these new operations are like. But you'll see a bunch of tasks here that you'll have to complete, and by completing those, you'll earn stars towards this campaign. That's the whole idea. Completing these tasks will earn you stars to progress in the narrative campaign, which is where you'll actually unlock the San Diego. It really does seem like they've put a lot of effort into this campaign, as there's a lot of extra animation. There's also some different camos we can add here for these ships, and as you can see here, you'll earn 11,000 doubloons if you get the San Diego and you already have it. It looks like this update's battle pass, a key standout is going to be the DeGrasse, so if you don't already have it, 2,500 doubloons, not bad. There's a premium in the second progression line, a premium ship. And again, you can earn doubloons completely for free by playing the game over the next little while. So it's not like it's real money spent to get there. So if you're interested, that could be a good option for you. Of course, the dockyards are always an excellent point for Wargaming. Whenever they bring a new one out, it's usually going to be a pretty good event for the players. Laffey being no different from that. No mid-tier premium, but again, we got that San Diego event that you can earn completely for free. But Laffey, 5,000 doubloons, or 6,000 doubloons if you don't spend on the starter packs, isn't too bad of a price for a tier 10 overall, but when we consider we can earn doubloons just by playing the game, you can earn 10,000 doubloons just by playing one battle a day for 24 days, you can get yourself into the Laffey Dockyard completely for free just by playing the game. However, if you are interested in this dockyard, you should know about the missions going into it. I looked through these and I noticed a few key choke points, all right? At tier 1 here, we're going to notice that there's a ship XP per class bottleneck. So you're going to have to play through different classes, carrier, battleship, cruiser, destroyer. I think this is probably going to take you the longest. Notice it's not base XP though. So any multipliers you have, premium time, upwards of red boosters if you have them, will impact this. So it could go reasonably quick. The key here though is to get the ones that give you shipbuilding phases. So you're going to have to do this potential damage. Grab yourself a battleship. Not too bad. Week 2 to me, in my notes it says free. Maybe that's overstating it, but earning credits, setting things on fire, captured ribbons. Look at this. You can actually do all of these in co-op if you want to. If you need to set fires, just grab an HE spamming cruiser and farm those battleships down. If you need defended ribbons, wait until a bot battleship enters a cap and then spam away. You'll get those defended ribbons, no problem. Notice here we're also getting all of these new special operations from that new event available to grind out the Laffey Dockyard. You could completely grind out the Laffey Dockyard by playing PvE content. Very, very cool. And notice here we have the operations tag. Half your performance is taken into account. Well, that's not added to these new operations for this special event. So I'm assuming, maybe this is a typo or a problem on Wargaming's end, but I'm assuming any of the XP, ribbons, anything you do in these new operations will count 1-to-1 just like it would in a random battle. And something to keep in mind, you don't actually need to complete every single one of these missions. It's 6 of these missions per week. So you pick the easiest ones for you to complete. There's usually a bit of a skill test at the very bottom, forcing you to play some PvP mode, random battles, or ranked battles. But I'm trying to ignore that for this, trying to think about it from an average player perspective. And for week 3, I don't think it's going to be too bad for you to earn some of these damage outputs with the battleships or cruisers, but spotting can be a little bit weird in this game and who it attributes spotting damage to. So if you have to go for destroyer spotting damage, that could be a bit of a bottleneck here. Also 130,000 XP, again, not base XP, so all of your XP multipliers apply here, but this is about half of a tier 10 going from tier 9 to tier 10's worth of XP, so that could take you a little while. Week 4, I noticed, is a little bit awkward. Either you're going to have to shoot down 100 aircraft, which there's no guarantee you're getting any aircraft in these convoys. Some people are saying there's no aircraft in these new operations. And then if you're going into randoms or co-op, there's no way to really guarantee a carrier or even guarantee a carrier that's going to go after you. So this will be a bit of a weird one to try and complete. If you don't go for that one, then there's earning credits in each class. Again, multipliers will impact this, which is nice, but this is quite a bit of credits and you're gonna have to jump around into different ships. Not too bad though still. And again, if you don't have a lot of XP multipliers, Commander XP also could take you a little bit of time. Week 5 doesn't look too bad outside of 150,000 XP, a little bit more than last time, and you will have to complete this one as it is a shipbuilding phase. But again, if you're playing semi-regularly, this shouldn't take you too long to get through. The real problem though is at phase 6. So this is the second last week. And it's not too bad to actually get these shipbuilding phases. So potential damage, you'll get that relatively quickly in a battleship, or doing fire flooding damage, not too bad. The problem as I see it is now we're getting into base XP. Class-based base XP. That's a lot. That's going to be a lot to get through. Now, if you can get some of these completed in one battle, set 15 fires, that can help negate some of this, but a lot of base XP per class. So something to consider there. There will be 4 of these shipbuilding phases locked if you're not able to complete phase 6 here, as there are another 3 here. So you wouldn't get this one here for completing the entire thing, and you wouldn't get these 2 if you're not able to do some of those base XP ones. With the 2 that you don't get anyway, with the Dockyard that you normally would have to buy through, that leaves you 6 that you're not going to get if you find phase 6 of these Dockyard missions to be too difficult. That's a lot. That's close to, what, 18,000 doubloons if you're waiting at the end and you happen to get stuck here. That's a lot to spend on a Laffey. It's still a tier 10 premium destroyer, but that is still quite a bit of money. Worth noting though that phase 7 gets a little bit easier. Still some base XP, but not nearly as much as the multiple base XPs you'll likely have to do in phase 6 in each class. Overall, the Laffey Dockyard doesn't look too bad to me. Not as bad as some of the really brutal ones we've had in the past. It'll still take you some time to complete though, as is the standard case with these dockyards. Still a great event. And remember, you can earn so many doubloons over the next little while that you don't actually have to spend real money to get yourself into this dockyard if you're just playing through the game. So here's where we got the 10th anniversary starting. Notice how this ends December 31st. You got a long time to do this. If you don't have time in the next couple of months, don't worry. All this stuff, including earning a lot of these doubloons or these Voyage tokens, which can be converted into doubloons or steel, will still be there for you. This is where we see GQ Johnny as well. This one's definitely going to take you a while to earn the GQ Johnny, as you have missions here that update each day. Play 3 battles gets you 1 progress towards completion. Notice you're going to need 180 of these completions. At least though, by playing 5 battles, you get another one. So if you play every day 5 battles, you're going to get through it in about 90 days. That's still a lot of playtime. This is certainly earnable, but for people who have a lot more time on their hands, which is fair enough. I think it's great that we have content available for people who have a lot of time to play the game, not just content exclusively for those that have a lot of money to spend on the game. Some of both is really good, and that's why I'm so excited here, is that no matter who you are, if you've been playing the game a lot recently or not at all, there's plenty for you to come back and be very, very excited about in playing this update. And in the next couple updates too. The anniversary update, next patch 14.8, also looks absolutely incredible. I don't know if we've had a better time for World of Warships, to be honest with you. It's been such an amazing turn from the last few updates in early 2025. But back to our 10th anniversary grand voyage here. Already talked about the 10,000 Voyage tokens. That's the upfront ones. Only 24 days of 1 battle a day is required to actually get that. And the rest of them, the last 22,000 tokens, are on daily rewards. So you get 150 tokens each day. Now, that also stacks, right? So while you're doing these 24 days, you're also getting these 150 tokens. So after those first 24 days, combining that daily reward with the welcome bonus completion, you're actually getting 13,600 tokens, which can be converted directly to those doubloons. Now, what happens if you already have GQ Johnny? It was very expensive, so I'm assuming a lot of you were waiting for this mission chain to actually let you get it for free. But if you do happen to have it and you have the time to complete these mission chains, you'll get 10,000 steel as compensation. So not only are we getting compensation if we already own San Diego in the form of doubloons, we're also getting GQ Johnny compensation for 10,000 steel. This is incredible. As of late, Wargaming has been reducing the compensation a lot if you get a premium ship you already own. Typically, it's actually gone towards credits these days, which is generally the least valuable resource. So very, very nice to see these things here. These are small little details that normally we would see Wargaming almost nickel and diming us, but they've gone the opposite direction here. Honestly, it feels almost too good to be true. I hope I'm not getting this video wrong, guys. I've gone over this a couple of times, in fact, just to make sure I'm getting all the details right, because I almost can't believe this is the update that we're getting here. It's such a drastic change of direction, and I am so glad for it. Now, I don't expect Wargaming to go into the future being this generous every single update. This is a 10th anniversary after all. It's a special event. But I'm hopeful that going forward, they can see the value in providing new content for a lot of money for whales, but also adding new content for the average player to get excited about too. I think there needs to be more of a balance. The first half of 2025, a lot of that new content was only for people willing to whale with over $100 an update if you wanted to get access to the new content. Here though, we're getting a much better balance. There still is some very expensive stuff with the new ships, but there's also some ships here and content that is easily earnable for a free-to-play player as well. So please continue in that direction, Wargaming. Please. That'd be great. Now, we've actually got the very first portion of a carrier rework here. And generally, I'm actually in favor of these changes. So they're standardizing air detects as well as reducing the amount of air detection that's going to happen. I would prefer that we see things like minimap only plane spotting, but this seems to be a positive direction, at least for large ships. So all aircraft are going to have a shared detection of 10 kilometers, but guess what? Maximum base detectability by range is also set at 10 kilometers maximum for surface ships. That's where it's a bit better for large ships, and it's not really helping those smaller ships quite so much. But what does help smaller ships is the change to your bloom, your gun bloom. Usually, you get worse detection as you're shooting your guns. They're changing it here, so ships will no longer have increased detectability by air after firing main battery guns. So your gun bloom will still act as normal for surface detection, but it won't change your standard air detect when you shoot your guns. That's a huge change for smaller ships. If you're a gunboat DD, you still have that 3, maybe 4 kilometer air detect even when you're shooting your guns. That's so good. As a high DPM light cruiser, you can sit behind an island now with your 6.5 kilometer air detect, and that carrier, he's gonna have to get within your AA range to even spot you now behind those islands. Huge improvements here. No, it's not minimap only spotting as I would like, but that is a massive change and will drastically reduce the amount of accidental or incidental spotting that a carrier will do just by flying within 15, 12 kilometers of you sometimes. And I think this will lead to a more pleasant experience for surface ships. Although I haven't played with it yet, so we'll see. I'm just hopeful at these things. I'm speculating, and I'm just hopeful that this is a move in the right direction. It sure does feel like it. You'll notice also manual secondary control is on aircraft carriers, so let me know if you want to see a Graf Zeppelin secondaries only playstyle. I gotta try it out just to see what it actually is like to fully manually control the secondaries. We got that new line that they've leaked on the WoW's dev blog too, the German battle cruisers coming up, which also have manual secondary control. So this is an interesting direction to see what things are like. They're also changing the way carrier fires are, longer duration, reduced fire damage per second, pretty much bringing them back to normal fires on normal ships, no longer that 7-second fire duration or whatever. And damage controls have been changed too. So probably you get punished a little bit harder for actually using your damage control and getting lit on those longer duration fires. But the absolute most important change here is that you will be able to heal back so much more damage from aerial and submarine homing torpedoes. Now, submarine torps that aren't homing, just their regular torps, if they hit your belt armor, still count as citadel damage. But the key here is that all aerial torps, they don't count as citadel damage when they hit your torp protection. And that's why so much damage from carriers felt unhealable. It was permanent damage. That's why, even though the values might have been lower, 10,000 permanent damage hits for a lot more than 20,000 HE and fire damage, because you can heal so much of that back, at least at higher tier when you're a larger ship with heals. So an absolutely great change there from Wargaming. We'll see if this is enough, but I do think this will be a reasonable step in the right direction. And with that, I think that's all I wanted to say about this new update. Seriously, if you haven't played WoWs for a while, now I think is the time to play it again. Look at the detail on this one. So much new content here and returning rare content. Just straight up earning doubloons completely for free by playing the game. It's such an incredible update that I think everyone can find something to get excited about. And not only that, recent dev blogs have been showing that Wargaming is spending more time on the gameplay side of things as well. They're reworking old maps like Okinawa and Mountain Range, trying to freshen up the play that happens on those maps. Generally pretty boring maps, so love to see that. As well as, if you missed it, you actually also no longer going to have to deal with permanently destroyed modules. Your turret, your torp tubes no longer will be permanently destroyed in the future. That was a dev blog, unfortunately not here for 14.7, but should be coming very soon. And if they do get in-capped, like your torp tubes, as a destroyer, it's pretty annoying when your torp tubes get in-capped and then they go on a big reload again. Well, you're no longer going to have to deal with the reset of your reload. If they get in-capped, when they get repaired again, they will just start again from that same spot that they were reloaded. So you won't lose your reloading progress. Absolutely incredible changes coming out of Wargaming. It feels like they're listening to the community so much more. And this update here is doing an absolute ton for free-to-play players, as well as relatively low monthly spend on this game. And I absolutely love it. Not every update is going to look as good as this one in the future. I don't need it to. But what I do need from you, Wargaming, is to have more of a balance. We can't have another half of the year like the first half of 2025, where this new content was all exclusively locked behind massive paywalls. It's so hard to get excited about the game in that case. And on top of that, we weren't really seeing any progress towards some of these long-standing issues. And because of that, I think people got very frustrated that the new content was so locked behind massive paywalls that a lot of that frustration boiled over into more minor problems with the game that, yes, are still problems and should be addressed, like some of these maps, like module damage. By the way, with that module damage, your AA and secondary mounts also won't be permanently destroyed. Amazing change right there, too. These are smaller problems, but things the community has wanted for quite some time. Yet some of these small things can blow up into massive problems just because the frustration of the new content and the lack of anything exciting being accessible, any of that new content that Wargaming is promoting and their CCs, myself included, are showing off in their videos, feels so out of reach. And I think that's understandable why that gets so frustrating. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Am I just purely speculating there? I'm just trying to understand the community here and give that feedback to Wargaming, because this feels like a very critical time in the life cycle of World of Warships. This is a very old game. And for the company to drastically change and shift focus on events it's doing means that they're trying things. And it's important for us to give clear and solid feedback of what we want out of Wargaming. And hopefully we'll see them listen, like they have seemingly been doing over some of these devlogs and now with these next couple of updates. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoy the new update. Seriously, have some fun playing this game again. Play some operations, play some PvE, div up with some friends, earn yourself some doubloons, and maybe if you do manage to finish this new campaign, you can get yourself a San Diego. Using those doubloons also can unlock getting a Missouri completely for free for you. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Man, I'm so happy I just get to make a positive video again. This is great.